Hi, this is George Gonzalez with Team Data of 8 and Keller Williams Realty in Miami, Florida. Is now a good time to buy a home in Miami? Well, if you've been thinking about buying a home in Miami, you've probably been asking yourself this. Should I buy now or wait? With high home prices, fluctuating interest rates, and more inventory hitting the market this time of year, it's not as simple as a yes or no answer. I recently spoke with a buyer who had been waiting on the sidelines since 2023, hoping prices would drop or at least rates would fall dramatically. But here's what's actually happened. Prices stayed relatively stable. Rates moved up and down and now up again. And competition, well, it never fully disappeared. By early 2026, they actually realized something important, that waiting didn't make the market easier. It just delayed their opportunity to build equity. So today, I'll break down what's really happening in Miami's housing market in 2026 and how to decide if now is the right time for you. Number one, home prices in Miami are still holding strong, depending on the area and the neighborhood. Instead, we're seeing stabilization. That means buyers waiting for a major crash may be waiting longer than expected, especially in high demand areas like Miami, where a housing supply remains limited. Miami is still a supply constrained market, which helps keeps prices supported. Number two, inventory is improving, and yes, that's good news for buyers. One of the biggest shifts in the first quarter of 2026 has been more homes hitting the market compared to the last 2 years. Inventory in Miami has actually increased roughly between 10 and 15% year over year, giving buyers more options and slightly less competition. That means fewer bidding wars, more negotiation power, more time to make decisions. And this is one of the most buyer-friendly conditions we've actually seen for a while. Number three, interest rates are still a factor, but more predictable. Mortgage rates in early 2026 are generally sitting in the mid to high 6% range, depending on your credit and loan type, of course. While that's higher than the historic lows we saw in 2021, it's also more stable than the volatility we saw in 2023 and 2024. And here's what many buyers are actually realizing. You can refinance a rate later, but you can't go back and buy at yesterday's home prices. So for many buyers, the focus has shifted from timing the rate perfectly to securing the right property at a good price. Number four, renting versus buying in Miami is actually getting closer. Rents in Miami remain high, with average rents for a single family home or a condo often ranging between $2,500 to $4,500 plus per month, depending on the area. Because of that, the gap between renting and owning isn't as wide as it used to be. When you buy, you're building equity, locking in a long-term payment with a fixed loan at least, and protecting yourself from rising rents. For many buyers planning to stay 5 or more years in a home, buying is starting to make a lot more financial sense. So is now a good time to buy a home in Miami? The truth is, of course, it depends on your goals, your timeline, and your financial situation. But right now, we're seeing a unique window where inventory is improving, competition is easing, prices are stable, and if you've been waiting for a more balanced market, this first quarter going to the summer might be your opportunity. If you're thinking about buying this year, remember to call me, text me, email me. I'd be happy to help you break down your options and create a strategy that actually makes sense for you. It'll be a pleasure to talk to you. Anyways, I really appreciate you watching these videos. I hope you got a lot out of this one. And until next time, bye-bye.